kindness is free, so spread that stuff everywhere. Well, friends, kindness may be free, but if you spread it too thin, you could go bankrupt. In honor of this Memorial Day weekend, I'd love to tell you a quick story about my grandma and grandpa Samples. I trace my Samples family line all the way back to the hills and hollers of West Virginia. When my dad grew up in Clay County, West Virginia, it was the poorest county in the United States. But the Samples family was rich with values, high moral standards, Christian character, and a love for friends and neighbors. So just before the Depression, great timing, my grandma and grandpa Samples sort of opened a little market, grocery store kind of thing in the hills of West Virginia. And over the years, developed a really wonderful clientele that would come in to buy food and supplies and enjoy my grandma and grandpa Samples. When the stock market crashed on October 29th, 1929, our world and our society and our culture was thrown into an economic pandemic, much like what we're facing today. And so, little by little, people began to come into the store and say to my grandfather, Ray, I don't quite have enough money to pay for all of this. Could I put half of this on my tab? And my grandfather would hush back, sure, it'll be okay. We'll be okay. Well, as the months of the Depression continued to expand, more and more people would come in and say, Ray, I don't have enough money for this. Can I put it on my tab? And my grandfather would respond, oh, sure, we'll be okay. You gotta feed your family. So I'm guessing there were several nights when Grandma Cora would say to E. Ray Samples, hey, we don't have enough money to pay our bills. What are we gonna do? And I'm sure I can hear my grandpa saying back, sweetheart, it'll be fine. We'll be okay. God will take care of us. Well, the fact of the matter is they weren't okay. I mean, they just kept giving food away to their friends and neighbors without much money coming in. Their hearts were so big, they could never turn their friends and neighbors away. And then there was no federal grant money to bail them out, so my grandma and grandpa went bankrupt. And in an amazing testimony to their faith, they continued to believe in the goodness of God even as they went bankrupt. In this world, and specifically in these times, there are two kinds of people, givers and takers. And honestly, we're probably, each of us, a mixture of both of those. But it's stories like this of my heritage, my grandma and grandpa Sample, that makes me want to be more of a giver than a taker. It encourages me to give my life away and trust God, even if we go into bankruptcy. It reminds me of a little song that Stephen Dottie Chandler taught us when Cheryl and I pastored in Fresno, California a long time ago. Dare I sing it for you? Please listen to the words more than you listen to my raspy voice, old voice. It goes something like this. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Oh, love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. It's just like a magic penny. Hold on tight and you won't have many. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. For love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Oh, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Friends, we have opportunities to decide who we want to be, givers or takers. Let's give and trust God. God bless. Thanks for being with me.